Okay, YouTubers, this is the Angryprepper. Thank you for joining me on the Angry Truth channel. So today's video, we're going to talk about Biden's stimulus package. This package is turning out to be a bait and switch. Now, like every other American, I thought that people were going to get an additional $2,000. Right? That's what he said at the Georgia runoff elections. That's what Charles Schumer said, and that's what Bernie Sanders said. They all said that he was going to give you, President Biden, was going to give you $2,000. An additional $2,000. There was at no point in time that they say, hey, he's going to give you $1,400 on top of the $600 you got to make $2,000. Nowhere did he say that. Now he's backpedaling and saying, well, I'm going to give you $1,400 on top of the $6,000 and I'll be $2,000. That is not what you said. That is what Democrats do, guys. They lie. Well, to be fair, politicians lie. We know that. But we all knew, those of us who didn't vote for Biden, knew that Biden was going to do a lot of backpedaling and a lot of forgetting, if you will, on subjects and promises he made during his election, his campaign, sorry. So, when he said he was going to give $2,000, I was like, oh man, that's pretty good. I mean, that's what Trump wanted to do, right? But then you turn around, or the Democrats turn around and screw Trump over, or screw the American people over, sorry, for the $2,000 and gave us $600. All right. Then Biden goes, oh, I'm going to drop an additional $1,400 to make it $2,000 to make himself look good. But when in fact in January, he promised $2,000. Now, as of right now, it's unclear who is getting the additional $1,400, right? There is no real guidelines. They're not saying what the cutoff is and who makes what and what percentage of people who are rich are going to get this much, people in middle class, and then poor, right? Now, for me, I can care less if I get a stimulus check, which I haven't gotten the first two, the $1,200 stimulus check back in, well, early last year, and then the $600 back in November, December. I didn't get neither, right? And I'm fine with that. I'm perfectly fine with that. I do not need it. I think if you have a job, a decent paying job, you shouldn't get a stimulus check. People who should get a stimulus check are people who lost their jobs, people who are poor and lost their jobs, right? Those are people who should be getting it. People under a certain threshold, which I would say anyone under $40,000, $35,000 a year job, they should get the stimulus check. And people who lost their jobs, obviously, but not people who are still working and making over, I don't know, 60, 70,000. I just think it's not that it's greedy. I don't think those of us still working need it. I wouldn't say we don't deserve it, because it's the government giving us money, and they probably do deserve. We probably deserve more than that, based on what they're stealing from us with taxes and taxing everything else. That's a different subject for a different day. But while we're talking about this subject, I don't think we need the additional funds that they're giving us. Back to Biden's $2,000 promise, there was a lot of double talking going, right? And again, not everyone, but people who voted for Biden, they didn't vote for Biden for the stimulus check. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, the stimulus check that Biden was promising in January wasn't known till about December or so. So the election was already over. But I knew this guy was a bold-faced liar, and he hasn't done anything for the American people in his 40 years in office. And now what he's doing is he has a chance to do something, and he's backpedaling. Now, him promising the $2,000 when he said it was probably an overzealous statement. When it was brought to his attention, $2,000 per American citizen, is he fucking kidding me? You know, this is the people behind the curtains, if you will, behind Biden pulling his strings. They're like, there's no way we can afford that. So I think that's why they said, well, $1,400 plus 6 will make $2,000. And that's political talk, guys. That's politicians talking. The double talk, the promises, the promises they make and the promises they forget. This is what politicians do. So am I surprised that he backpedaled on the fucking $2,000? No. That's what Democrats do. They backpedal, they make promises, they never come through. Republicans do the same thing. Don't get me wrong, but it seems like Democrats more often than Republicans make promises they never keep. The stimulus package, the entire stimulus package Biden's talking about, not just the $1,400, it's coming out to $1.9 trillion. Now, that money is going towards schools. It's going towards small businesses, especially in low-income neighborhoods. Guys, low-income neighborhoods doesn't just mean black neighborhoods. They're also Spanish. They're also white. They're also Indian. There are a lot of low-income neighborhoods throughout the United States that are not just black. So when people read low-income neighborhoods, what does it mean? Just black neighborhoods? No, calm the fuck down. This is just low-income neighborhoods throughout the country. There are, like I said before, plenty of white low-income neighborhoods in the United States, and there are plenty of Spanish and Asian, low-income neighborhoods. So the other part of that stimulus package or money is going to distribution of the COVID vaccine. The COVID vaccine distribution is turning into a clusterfuck at best. Then they're looking to put more money into it to do what? Shoot up more people with something that's not even confirmed to work. I've said that before, I'll say it again. It is not confirmed to work. And yet they are putting money into this, and I think they're going to start bribing people to take this injection. Now, Kroger's supermarket, I know that I've seen them down south. I haven't seen them up here in the east, but they are bribing their employees to take the COVID vaccine by giving them $100. I think either add it in their check or in the form of like a gift card or something. I'm not sure which it is, but they are bribing their employees to take this vaccine for $100 in the form of a gift card or add it to their checks. Why the fuck are you bribing your employees to take this vaccine? Something doesn't sound right if you are bribing people to take something they don't want because they don't trust it. There's not enough data to trust this vaccine, and yet the powers that be are coercing their employees to take it and or bribing their employees to take it. That's a problem. So now they're pushing the stimulus package or the money into distribution of the vaccine. Now, what does that mean? That means more pop-up vaccine sites. That means renting out bigger places like they did Yankee Stadium. Renting out places like Yankee Stadium and Old Shade Stadium, or the Mets, or Old Shade Stadium, into vaccine sites so people can go and get injected. They also have it at Jacob Javits Center here in New York City. So they're going to be, I guess, renting those places out, if that makes sense, and paying for that. So people can get injections, more people can get injected. And so they can also make more vaccines, right? The stimulus package is going into the wrong things. The vaccine coordination, I think, is bullshit. It should totally go into small businesses. Absolutely. And not just low income neighborhood small businesses all over the United States, online and brick and mortar stores. That's where the money should be going. Those are the places and the people that keep this country running, not fucking vaccine distribution, and especially not a vaccine where they tell you, all right, you can take the vaccine. Here you go. Here's your vaccine. Still got to wear a mask, still got to social distance. Matter of fact, we suggest you don't even travel anywhere just yet until we figure out if it works. Proof that it doesn't work. Because if it did work, you would rip your mask off and walk through COVID Valley and not have to worry about catching COVID. So here's not a surprise because, Democrats, but Susan Sarandon, super liberal, ultra liberal, super duper ultra liberal. So Susan Sarandon, the super duper liberal of Hollywood, is calling out President Biden on his double talk on the $2,000 stimulus, now turning into $1,400 stimulus. Even a liberal's calling him out this quick. That means if the fact that she jumped on it so fast, instead of like laying back and seeing where this went, she jumped all over him. She wasn't even, she was doubtful, about that promise he made about the $2,000 check. She had to be, for her to come out that quick, and for her to be the only Hollywood star to come out on this so fast. That means she knew that he was full of shit. Right. So anyway, we all knew he was full of shit. Guys, every last one of us who either A, voted for Trump or didn't vote for Trump but didn't vote for Biden either, We knew that Biden's full of shit. We know that what Biden's plan is. Biden's been full of shit his whole political career. Now all of a sudden he's going to do the right thing? No, he's not. He's destroying jobs. He's letting the American people down again. That $600 makes a huge difference for a lot of people out there. So then by pulling it back and saying, well, we're going to add it to the $600, keep in mind the $600 that Trump passed. I thought this guy wanted nothing to do with Trump. He overturned a lot of Trump's executive orders out of spite. So I was thinking, well, he's definitely going to come up with that $2,000 because there's no way he's going to split the pay. And what did he do? He split the pay. Again, guys, politicians are assholes. I mean, again, Republicans, Democrats, Independents, it doesn't matter. They are assholes. And some only like to cater to certain groups of people, like Bernie Sanders. He's a specific group kind of guy. He's not about America. Democrats are not about Americans. Republicans are not about Americans, right? These politicians are not about Americans. And the other thing about being for Americans is, yes, undoubtedly you cannot make everyone happy. It's impossible. It is virtually impossible. So you have to worry about the country and not the groups of people. When you start looking at certain groups of people, well, the black community, they need help. Oh, the gays, they need help too. Those little Asian dudes over there, they need help. No, you don't do that. You worry about the country as a whole. You let the individual states worry about the demographics that need help in that state. They don't, as a president of the United States, you're not worried about Tom, Dick, and Harry. You're worried about the country as a whole. You worry about the country succeeding as a whole. That's how we get better. We do not get better by focusing on smaller, marginalized groups. It doesn't work that way, and we are seeing it. And we've seen it. We've seen how it doesn't work, and yet for some reason, they still do it. Look at the NFL, for example. The NFL had a commercial yesterday talking about stopping racism. First of all, the NFL is full of shit. Don't even know why I watch the Super Bowl. I haven't watched the Super Bowl in a long time. You know, the wife and my son wanted to watch it, so I was like, all right, let's watch it. Super Bowl was horrible. Kansas City Chiefs did a fucking horrible job, right? That's neither here or there. But then the NFL commercial comes on about stopping racism. You cannot stop racism. You just can't. It doesn't fucking work. You have to address each situation as it happened. You cannot address racism as a whole. It doesn't work. Because we all have our individual dislikes about another group, whether it's racist or not. So, politicians thinking that they can end certain things by focusing on smaller groups, it doesn't fucking work. And that's why this stimulus package is not going to work. That's why the President Biden's presidency or Kamala Harris' presidency is not going to work. They're only focused on the smaller groups. You got to be focused on the entire country as a whole, not as individuals. It doesn't work that way. Anyway, guys, sorry about that short rant, but nonetheless, guys, the stimulus package is again a backpedaling package. That's what they should call it. They should call it the backpedaler's package because it's not going to stimulate anything. Some of these people have to put it back in to paying off their cars, rent, daycare, and food. Food might stimulate the economy a little bit, but not rent and not fucking paying off your car note. Like I said, this is what politicians do best. They shortchange the American people. Right? So guys, this is the Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching. You can like, subscribe to this channel. You can also follow me on Instagram. You can head over to the Angry Prepper channel and like and subscribe to that channel as well. Alright guys, thank you for watching.